Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Inside the Den. Today we're going to take a look at Tera Online, and now this isn't a fully free-to-play game, but they recently launched a 7-day free trial, so we want to kind of go through, talk about some of the restrictions that exist in this 7-day trial and exactly how to go about getting set up, and show you guys the gameplay, because the gameplay is very impressive, graphics are very impressive, sound as well is very impressive. Now you can see I do have one character, I've got to level 10, last online was actually today, but let's run through, while we're doing kind of the character creation process, we're going to run through some of the limitations. Actually, before I even get to that, I'm going to run through the limitations. So basically, the chat restrictions, chat is quite simple. You can't talk to anybody unless they talk to you first, and other than that, that's it. You can't really chat. So they limit the chat, very, very limited. Economy, you can't use the trade broker, can't use the bank. You can use the mail system only to receive mail. Then you've got some social restrictions. You can establish a friends list, and you can accept if friends send you invitation. But other than that, you can't, invite people to be on your friends list. You can vote in the political system, and the only thing you can do in the guild side of things is you can accept a guild invitation. Then on the PvP side, the game has a broad spectrum of PvP options, but you can only participate in the duels. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, you can level up 8 characters up to level 23 and play as much as you want in those 7 days. You can see right here, it tells you exactly when my subscription expires on June 26, 2012. But let's go through, create a new character. Kind of want to show you guys the character creation process. Even though I'm going to be honest, I'm not actually going to play the character that I create, simply because I want to show you guys a little bit further into the free trial. So that's why I'm going to play my level 10 character, show you guys a little bit different area than the very starting area. Because you do have a couple of options. You can start and play the prologue, or you can start out right on the Island of Dawn. Prologue allows you to play a higher level character, be able to see some higher level usage of your skills and stuff like that, battle some bosses and those types of things. So I highly recommend you play the prologue if you do this, but I'm not going to do it. Now, the majority of character races have male and female, so we can look at all these. A lot of these females are very scantily clad, and you can read a description of each of the different character classes down here in the bottom left, kind of give you an idea of what they're all about, and you'll be able to see them. And then once you get down to these 3, oddly enough, there's only one option as far as male or female, so I guess they basically reproduce like seahorses. So we're going to go ahead and we are actually going to choose a high elf. We're going to choose a female, and then from here we go ahead and select classes. So you can see there's a lot of different options and stuff that you don't normally see. Once again, they are all humanoid type classes. There's nothing that's non-humanoid, which I'm really waiting for the game to perfect a non-humanoid type class. Now she looks pretty hot, exactly how she is. But you can see one thing I want to point out is as you're selecting your class out of these 7 classes, you can obviously see, of course, your warrior through berserker are going to be fighter types, but they all have different usage. So you've got warrior, which is an evasion tank or sustained DPS, wears leather armor. Lancer is an absorption tank, melee, and wears metal armor. So basically just there to just take the blows. Pardon the pun with this outfit. But then you've got the Slayer, which is burst DPS, melee, leather armor. Then you've got the Berserker, which is burst DPS with metal armor. Then you've got your typical burst range DPS in your Sorcerer and your Archer. And then you've got your 2 different healer types, a primary healer and a priest, and a support healer in your Mystic. And your Mystic does a lot of stuff as far as buffs and things like that. But we're going to go ahead and go with the, you know what, actually I'm going to go with the Mystic. I kind of like that. I want to check out, I always liked playing support type healer. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and let's get into the full character customization now. So we have a bunch of presets that we can go with. I kind of liked her and the hair that she had, and then we can go ahead and play with different features, change her hair out to different things, change the color. So we're going to throw a little purple in there as we usually do. Then you can change a bunch of different face options, so you can see them all there. Then you've got a bunch of different adornments. A lot of these are not actually showing up until you really look closely. Then you get the fine details, which I highly recommend if you're going to do the adornments, go back and do the fine details so you can see all this stuff coming into play. Then you got fine details, which you can play with all these different things. Oddly enough, you cannot change the actual body on the fine details. Really kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and zoom out with the scroll wheel, and now we can do some starting outfits here. So let's see what we have as options. That one's a little bit better. I think we'll go with this one, a little more provocative. Then the last thing you can choose is you can choose different types of voice. So we can click on any of these. There we go. And we can pick somewhere in the middle. Nope, we can pretty much just have that one. So we're going to go ahead and go with that. Let's edit the name. Let's go ahead and put in our usual name. Now we have to, there's no double, we can't do 2 capitals. So there we go. She's created, finished. And now she's going to be part of the character selection screen, and I can essentially choose her to start that character. And even though I choose a different outfit, she still showed up in whatever she wanted to, so that's fine. We were just kind of getting an idea anyways. Now, like I said, I'm not actually going to play that character right now. I'll probably play her a little bit later. I'm going to go in with my Berserker because I want to show you guys, like I said, a little bit later. So let's jump in. And now, also, when you do select her, or a new character, you're going to be able to go in, like I said, play the prologue. Highly recommend it. It's worth it. Walks you through a lot of basic stuff because the game does play a little bit differently than a lot of other MMORPGs because it is highly action-based. So you kind of move around. You kind of see plays a lot like games coming out like Raiders or games already on the market like Vindictus, except it's open world. You don't have all of these instances and things of that nature that you're gonna have to jump in each time that you want to kind of get into fights. So you're gonna kind of have this open world. But you could see, I mean, the world we're in, the world looks absolutely gorgeous, which you'd expect from an MMO that's of this quality and is subscription based. But we are starting to see this high level of detail and this high level of quality out of a lot more free-to-play MMOs as there's so much more money entering that space as well. So right now we are on a couple of quests. Let's go ahead and go through some of these different interface options and then we'll get into some of the fighting. So I did bring up my quest log, but I'm going to go ahead and close that out, bring up my profile. Now one thing you can see here is I've got all my different weapons and gear. Now these little things over to the side are actually crystal slots. So you can see on this hauberk of the first expedition, that I've got 2 crystal sockets. Now I can earn different items and then they'll be able to fit into these crystal sockets and they'll give me different bonuses, whether it be to like bonuses to mana, to critical hit, all that different stuff. And a lot of your items are going to have those crystal sockets available and you're going to be able to equip different bonuses to yourself. Then you've also got costuming and reputation, but the big thing you have here is you have 4 different options. So if you're playing a class that's a tank but also DPS, and you want to have different options as far as your gear, you've got 5 different options that you can set up and then save those, and you can jump back and forth. So really kind of a cool system there. Then we've got our skill system. Inside the skill system, you've got active and passive. You also have the ability to add glyphs to your different skills, give them more power and more bonuses depending upon what they do. So you have a lot of different skills that are available. I mean, this is only through level 10, and there's more to come. Then we've got our quest log, which we were in, and you've got a bunch of different quest options. So you've got story quests, which you can see I'm on right now. Strange Attractors has been completed, and somehow I didn't get this one, but I am on to this one, which is where I am right now to go ahead and take care of these rune keepers. But you also have zone quests, which I have this Sorsha Reckless Challenge timed, which it looks like I probably failed because actually it doesn't do timed until I actually set off this this little thing. So I have to protect her for 7 minutes. Then we've got guild quests and daily quests, which I don't have any of. Then we've got our inventory, which is pretty simple. You see I've got a bunch of different gear here that I need to sell. I've got potions. I also have some recipes. The game does have a full crafting system and a full extraction system, which I'll get into in a second. But you're going to pick up these recipes and then you go and you can learn different alchemy or all that different stuff. But we'll get into that in a second. So we've got 2 of these now. So let's go ahead and equip that. We must have found that recently because I didn't see that in my inventory before. Then we've got the map system. So we've got our mini map up in the top corner, and then we've also got the world map here, which you could see is broken down into all these different provinces, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. So let's head on over here. And now the game has this Von Arc system, and so under the Von Arc system you have all these different candidates, and then the candidates are essentially set up and they're looking to control whatever province they're trying to control. And then you can view and see what they're trying to do and what their election promises, so to say, are. So how about another full term of 1% tax and epic events in all shops? Oh yeah, we've got that for you. Believe in Element who believes in you. So there you go. So you see right there, and he's even set up a Twitter account for his actual election process. So then you've got Lazaril, you'll not abandon you, help Lazaril, Tardis, bring back Osgard, the oppression left by the eminences, taxes, and lack of support. So I mean, it's a full system here, and then you're going to be able to go in and you're going to be able to vote on these guys and vote for them to continue to control all of these different provinces. And then based upon their control, like you saw, they can set up taxes, they can set up things with the shops, all of that different stuff. So it's really a cool system. So we've got our Vonarch system here, and then we can click on these different areas, and it'll show you the provincial data and the edicts, show you the tax rates, and obviously then you can vote on these different guys when you have that ability. So lastly, you've got an item claim, which basically we've got one-use items and then account items, pre-order collector's editions or other Tera promotions, which include in-game items, and then you've got one-use items, which will go in there. And then we've got our enchanting system, so basically you can take, and you'll see occasionally down here in the chat, so-and-so has gotten such and such item to +9. So as you enchant these items, then they'll go up in pluses and bonuses, and then obviously become much more powerful. Then you've got a full achievement system. The achievement system is really, really well done. You can also go through and you can see, okay, well, I haven't killed 1,000 monsters. How many I've killed? I've killed 555. So you can see your progress on all of those as well, which is really kind of cool. So I love the depth of the achievement system. And then, like I was talking about earlier, you've got the crafting system, which there's 6 different crafting options. And then you've also got the extraction system. And let's talk about the extraction system here really quick, because I can see an item right over here, little mining item. So we're going to run up to this rock, and all you have to do, because it's set up as like an action game, you basically just hit F and you'll start to try and extract this crime metal ore. Now you notice at the top, gathering successful, gathering life affects your abilities, your mining has increased to 16. So now, because I was gathering, I actually got a bonus here, gathering life. So heals 0.5% of total hit points per stack every 3 seconds, effect stacks up to 3 times. So now I can run around and continue to extract items, and then I will continue to get additional bonuses like that. So I'm not going to do that right now, but it's really, really helpful, I can tell you, to run around and do a bunch of extraction, get all those buffs, and then start wailing away on these different guys. So we're gonna start beating on these guys. I'm gonna show you some of the stuff. So now that we've got him in front of me, I got knocked down as I was about to use a skill. So let's try that again, and I got knocked down again. That's awesome. So let's try one more time. There we go. And because we used all of our mana, so because I am a berserker, I actually have to build up my mana. So let's go ahead and flatten these guys in their guts, and then let's use our cyclone. So you can see that I have to actually charge up my cyclone. So you notice that that little bar was going back and forth. Let's pick up all these items. Let's get that healing mode. There we go. So you notice that it was charging up, and it's something that you'll have to get a little bit used to in combat, is actually charging up your skills. So you charge it up, because if you actually go through you can use it rather quickly if you just want to kind of use it. Like right there, I could use it real quick, knock it out, because I knew he was going to die. But if you charge it up, you actually get a much more powerful version of the skill. So it's very worthwhile to charge it up, get it to that full blinking red, and then use the skill when it's fully charged. So we're going to go ahead and rail on him, and he'll be dead here in a second. There we go. And so now also what you'll notice is that when I'm going to take, and let me actually show you guys something else real quick. So let's go to our quest log. Let's go to our story quest. And so you can see here, it wants me to take out these rune keepers. You can see that that's highlighted. Now the purpose behind that is I can click on that, and you notice on the mini map here that all these little dots showed up where these guys are. So it's really, really helpful to use that to find, like say you're having a hard time finding a certain monster that you need to take out for your actual quest. It's really helpful to use that system to go ahead and knock them out and find out exactly where they are. So now I'm going to show you right here. Well, I didn't have them because I killed that guy too fast. So let's head over and find another one, and we'll use our skill. There's one. So I'll go ahead and hit him once. So now we're going to use number 2, and then you're going to see right to the right of me, I can use spacebar and actually use a different skill. So because I got knocked down, I was not able to do that. So now we can use Cyclone. You saw Cyclone come up. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up those items. But let's see if I can get a full use of all my skills in, because it essentially gives you the order, or the best order that you should be using your skills in. By bringing up those little spacebar, and you know, we didn't get to see the. So essentially, if I am able to get through the full order, it processes to use Thunderstrike first, then use Flatten, then use Cyclone, and I'm able to use those all with the spacebar. Like I don't have to hit the individual numbers because it brings it up right there. But I'm actually out of mana because unfortunately I use my basic attack to generate mana with this character. So let's try this again. Let's go that route, and he got too far away. And even though I missed, I still get to use my Flatten skill, but he hit me with like an interrupt. So see, you can't just kind of do button mashing, because a lot of your skills require certain things to happen. So it, you know, the game, like I said, it touts itself as an action-oriented MMO, and it definitely lives up to kind of that hype, so to say. Because you really, you know, these monsters will evade your attacks. They will, you know, try and move around, so you can't just sit there and you can't just stand in front of them, start wailing on them, keep going through your cycle of hotkeys, and they're going to go down. Because you'll be sitting there and you'll be facing one direction. Next thing you know, they'll be not in front of you any longer, and you'll be wondering where they went. So good thing I completed that, because I was getting close to dying. So that quest is complete, and we are off to turn it in. So let's head over to one of the areas that I'm going to talk about in the mini map right now. So you see, I'm heading over where the question mark is, and there's also a little flag there. And what those little flags are, it means that I can teleport there. So if I teleport using a scroll back to the tower base, which is in that middle area, then I'm going to be able to teleport from that tower base to the Mysterious Ruins or to the Tainted Gorge. So it's their way of kind of allowing you to move around rather quickly. So let's go ahead and turn this in, putting the pieces together for the Federation, and then we need to talk to her, putting the pieces together. Understood. And there we go. Kill Kogwe the Mighty, who patrols throughout the Tainted Gorge. So we have to find this guy. So I saw him earlier. He basically looks like one of these destroyer guys just roaming around. So let's go ahead and bring that up. Let's see. It actually shows him being way down there. So I wonder if that's actually where he is right now, or if it's like where he was. But let's see if we can find him. That's not him. That's one of the other guys that I was looking for, but that might be him. There he is. So it actually is real time. It actually led me right to where he is. So that's nice. It didn't put a whole bunch of dots on the screen where he might be. It led me right to this monster, which I think that's a pretty awesome feature. So when you see those dots, I'm actually gonna die unless I use this healing potion, and thankfully I knocked him down right as I noticed that. So let's get in there and let's start beating on this guy. We got 480 health to take him down. Let's see if we can get some of these skills off. There we go. So we took him down, and we actually got a little item, Robe of the Unnatural Orders. But all good, so now we can go turn that in. And I wasn't even paying attention to my health. I nearly died. That would have been a nice little epic fail right there. So you can see, because of my little buff that I got from extracting some little stuff, I'm able to heal up a little bit, so I could actually just sit here for a while. And I got a little green item. I think that's my first green item. So let's accept your quest. Answers lead to more questions. Let's see what this green item was that I got. So Demon Slayer Fists. So definitely much higher. And because I leveled up, we're going to go ahead and be able to equip that and increase your crit rate by 1. And it also increases my defense by a bunch. So we're going to go ahead and equip that. We can also sort our items, so we can get all these different items up here at the top, be able to see all the gear items that we have, stuff like that. And then we should probably put this down right there, so next time we get close to death, we actually use it. So where are we headed now? Kugre's Codex, Gregor guards a short path to Leander's camp. So where the heck is he? So we're actually going to be heading off in this direction. And you can also see, let me show you guys one other thing over here before we take off too far. There's a guy right over here. And you can see he's got an exclamation point above his head with kind of the circling arrows. Or she does. That means that they have a quest that's repeatable. So you can basically pick up their quest and you can just keep doing it and doing it over and over and over again. And let's see, quest the dead, and that's what you'll get. So it's actually pretty decent to do some of these repeatable quests, because I mean 1,000 experience is no joke. So, and then you got 1 silver and no copper. So some of those quests, and they get useful because if you're running around a certain area and you're constantly seeing the same things over and over again, it really becomes advantageous to pick that up, because you can you can take and you can actually get that stuff done pretty quickly as you're running around, because you're running over those items for the repeatable quests over and over again. So we're gonna head up here and talk to Gregor, but I'm gonna grab this thing first because I could use a little extra to my buff, and I don't know why it's saying my mana is too low to be able to actually extract. So, but like I said, it's kind of cool. You can see a little area over there. It's kind of like Niagara Falls. If you go to the very edge right there, you can look over and down and see like a busted up ship and stuff like that. But I mean, graphically, the game is absolutely gorgeous. The character models look great. The monster character models look amazing as well. The voice acting is well done. Overall, I mean, it's definitely well put together in what I would definitely consider, what could be considered a AAA title, but nothing you wouldn't expect from a subscription-based game. So we're going to go ahead and teleport back. Yep, move to tower base, and it takes a second. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's trip inside the den. Don't forget to subscribe and keep yourself updated as each new episode is released. Don't forget to like these videos, as we really do appreciate that. And lastly, if there's anything we missed or anything you think we should have covered, please feel free to go ahead and comment in these videos. We can take the criticism, and we also really do appreciate the help, not only for ourselves, but to our other members. If you'd like to play or learn more about Tera Online, you can read our full review at MMODen.com or just click the link in the description. Till next time, thanks for watching.